I'm not going to talk as long as Jonathan said I would, but I might compose since I know everybody wants to go home. I want to kind of break this down into some thank yous, some relationship discussion, a little bit about accounting careers, and that's it. And first of all, I want to congratulate everyone who won an award today. If I were to do a relationship map on everybody in this room, we're all connected either first degree or second. And what a great organization it is. It's been a life-changing experience for me, the friends and the colleagues that I've developed over the years. So thank you to all 23,000 plus members of the Illinois CPA Society. For the 32 years I've been associated and working with you. I want to start with a few thank yous, and I'm going to start with Derek Lilly, who's manning the camera over here. So take care. Is this a good angle? Derek called me a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was a month ago, and said, hey, we have an open page in this summer's Insight magazine. Can you write an article for me, 1,400 words? And I'm like, he threw out some suggestions, and I'm like, nah, I want to do something really different. So I gave him a title that he said, I've never thought of that one before. I wrote an article on providing long-term care insurance planning using the tax code. So to prove to myself that I was being unique, I went on to ChatGPT. And I ran my article through it, and I got this response, I have no idea what you're talking about. What? So it's still not developed, obviously. But I hope you like the article when it comes out in a few weeks, I would guess. Tom Murtaugh right there, I'll get to you in a minute. Ed Hannon, right over here, who was my vice chair when I was chairman of the board here. Anybody? Raise your hand if you've seen the TV show Ted Lasso. All right, I see a bunch of hands. Ed Hannon was my Coach Beard, right? Because he always had to remind me of Robert's Rules of Order. And Ed would nudge me, sitting next to me as my vice chair, saying, Dan, you need a motion now to do what you want to do. One of my favorite motions was this. I hereby make a motion to remove all physical books from the library to turn it into a nap room for Todd Shapiro. That was a good one. Unfortunately, that was an issue during my tenure. We did away with the paper library. There was a few members that were upset about that. I want to point out Fred Middlestad, who drove all the way here from South Bend, Indiana. A 12-year chairman of the accounting department at the University of Notre Dame, who got his PhD at the University of Illinois. I'm still thinking of Coach Beard. Fred, I want to thank you for letting me be on the accounting advisory board of your institution for the last 25 years. It's probably time for me to step down. Everybody's sick of me down there. Plus we had a term limit, which is a good idea. My boss, Tom Sadar, hired me at Wintrust. And I did a career pivot after almost 40 years, 38 years in public accounting, Big Four. I wanted to do something different, and plus I had aged out, so I had to do something different and just stay busy. I decided to get my CFP or PFS, as we're known as CPAs, and I did that 4 years ago. And I think I've outlasted several other famous people who've done career pivots, like Tony Romo tried golf after football, MJ tried baseball, but I've made it now, and I'm having a blast, and I love being a wealth strategist. It's really a lot of fun. Bud Ryan, who made partner the same day I did, 1992, we made partner, July 1, and I'll get to you in a minute. And I want to thank my wife, Christine, and my sons. In fact, I did have one CPA. Kevin used to come to this dinner when he was at Price Waterhouse, but he's since gone to the dark side. He's now in private equity. Ooh, you don't like that. But he's okay. He's my son. I still talk to him. Let's talk a little bit about relationships, and I'm going back to you, Bud. Do you remember when we made partner, we were sitting outside our PIC's office, our partner in charge's office, and they would call us in one by one. We had 3 new tax partners that year, you and I were 2 of them, And I walked out and said, what? I actually got a title. I'm partner in charge of recruiting. I thought I'd really made it. But that turned out to be one of my, I had a lot of titles over the years, but that was my favorite job, being in charge of recruiting for 4 years. And I got to meet so many wonderful people. And this is where it comes, Jonathan. Susie Herr was, well, I'm not going to say the year. That would be rude. Susie was one of my first hires as partner in charge. And I just want to recognize her. I brought a little something for you. Since Jonathan got a gavel, I thought you deserved it. Here you go, Susie. Somehow, I think Jonathan owes me for hiring Susie, so he met his future wife. And 2 beautiful boys, and they play baseball. I love baseball, so congratulations to you. I love you guys. Tom Murtaugh. And I'm not going to say second favorite, it's a tie. All my children are equal. I love them all equally. But Tom and I'll never forget Tom's interview with me. And I think you had an offer before you sat down in the chair. It literally took me like 10 seconds, Tom, to make you an offer. And I just had this feeling when we met, like, this guy's going to be special. I just knew it. So it's just been special being your friend and working with you all these years. It's been great doing joint presentations to different bar associations. It's been fun. Going back, and I don't see Jennifer Schultz here. Jennifer's not here. She just retired. I showed up for my first committee, and going back to when I made partner, the year before I made partner, our tax tech called me in and said, hey, Dan. And at that time, I went to the we had a middle market office out in Oak Brook, and I kind of got exiled there for 3 years. The whole middle market practice moved out to Oak Brook to work in 22nd. He said, the folks, you've been out of sight, out of mind. And I was like, me? Really? But yeah, you got to get more involved. Get your face out there. Join the Illinois CPA Society. I've been on these committees, and it'll be really good for the year you're up for partner. We can flout it and just good people. And I showed up for my first committee meeting, and guess who just joined? Jennifer Schultz. So Jennifer was my first liaison on my first Lakes and Regs committee. So I wish she was here, because thank you so much for being my friend for the last 32 years. It's been great. And Carrie, wherever you are, you're just wonderful. Hey, Carrie. And Todd, who's not here. Todd, I don't know where the whole TED thing came from, but one day during our board meeting, he mispronounced. He called me Ted, and then he started talking to where's Scott Steffens. Then you became Ted. He couldn't remember our names. I don't know. We were his officers, but and it just goes full circle, because I've been talking about Ted Lasso, right? So maybe he was ahead of his time. And by the way, I said Ed was Coach Beard. I could kind of see you as Roy Kent. I'm going to get serious for a second. Just a second. This book came out last year, and at the Notre Dame Accounting Advisory Board meeting this spring, all the students got a copy. And it's written by a former partner of mine who retired, 6-7 years ago, and it came out in 2022. So it just came out, and it's called Advice for a Successful Career in the Accounting Profession: How to Make Your Assets Greatly Exceed Your Liabilities, Achieving Your Full Potential and Optimizing the Degrees of Your Accounting Degree. Now, I could read this whole book, but I'm not going to. I know you want to go home, but it's got some great chapters in here, and like I said, if I were to write a book, I wish I wrote this book. It is really, really good, and I read it, and it's got chapters like Embrace Change, Technology is Your Friend, Have a Value Creation Mindset, How to Avoid Burnout, which we all have to deal with, and the importance of giving back, Career Transitions, How to Make Good Decisions. So Jerry McGinnis was our partner in charge of our Philadelphia office, and a person that I'd gotten to know and go to leadership meetings in New York with for many, many years. And what a great guy, and now he's associated with the university. He's got a great title, Fred. Maybe you can give me this title. He's Executive in Residence at Rowan University. What does Executive Residence do? But it sounds really cool, where he helps prepare students for their transition from academia to the workforce. So I think we all need some executives in residence. And it's got one favorite quote, and I'm sure Ed Hannon, aka Coach Beard, will correct me on this, but it's a Warren Buffett quote in here, and it says, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." That's my second favorite Warren Buffett quote. My favorite Warren Buffett quote, and I'm paraphrasing here, and correct me if I'm wrong, "You can see who's swimming without a Speedo when the tide goes out." Something like that. Yeah. That's the other Warren Buffett quote that I like the best. You can see when the tide, and you guys.
Warren Buffett's still too old to be making
But seriously, making an investment in yourself, continuous learning. I had a mom who was a math teacher who got her master's in math at the age of, in her early 50s. When I was studying for the CPA exam, she was studying for her, passing her master's. And she always told me, you know, it never stop, moving ahead, continuous learning, keep pushing it, baby. And she was a great role model for me, because then I started Ernst, started law school, got the LLM in tax, kept going, joined all these great Illinois CPA Society committees. So, even though my mom's not around anymore, I credit her with a lot of drive, passion, and vision that she instilled in me. And finally, thank you. I just want to say I'm very grateful for this honor. It's been a long road, 32 years with this organization, coming to these dinners. It's been fabulous, great friends. I'm serious. I've really enjoyed it. Jeff, look forward to doing more with you in the future too. It's been a wild ride, and I love it. Thanks. It's not over.